Frankie Lampard, Frankie Lampard, oh Frankie Lampard, oh Frankie Lampard scored 200 against the Pikeys. It's done, guys. It's officially announced. Frank Lampard is officially Chelsea manager after all this time waiting. I made that video last night stating that, if I do make another video last night, it was going to happen. Now, it was confirmed that he was going to be announced last night at 10 p.m, but because Facebook and Instagram was actually down, obviously social media plays a big part these days, they weren't able to announce it. So it's been announced this morning, 9 p.m, it was released, and Chelsea Football Club are delighted to announce Frank Lampard as our new manager, and it's really surreal. It's so emotional, as a player, highest ever goal scorer at this club, biggest ever legend, arguably, along with John Terry. Watching him as a kid growing up, all the goals he scored brought me to tears, joy. One of my all-time favourite players to watch. Such a magnificent player. He always bled blue. He gave everything for this club, for the badge, and I'm so happy he's come. Obviously, he's come with the hardest job in the Ryan Abramovich era, but exciting times, new era, developing youth, signing top-class players, and I think that this direction I'm really excited about. Now, I want to go over what he said on his return. I want to go over what Mourinho Sky said. Obviously, they had pictures taken. Obviously, like I said for time, if you have any doubts last night, it was definitely going to happen. And the 41-year-old said, "I'm immensely proud to be returning to Chelsea as head coach. Everyone knows my love for this club and the history we have shared. However, my sole focus is on the job in hand and preparing for the season ahead. I'm here to work hard, bring further success to this football club, and I cannot wait to get started." Chelsea director Mourinho Sky added, "It gives us great pleasure to welcome Frank Lampard back to Chelsea as head coach. Frank possesses fantastic knowledge and understanding of the club, and last season he demonstrated he is one of the most talented young coaches in the game. After 13 years of us as a player, where he became a club legend and a record goal scorer, we believe this is the perfect time for him to return, and are delighted he has done so. We will do everything we can to ensure he has all the support required to be a huge success." Lampard learned from some of the best managers in history of the sport during his trophy-laden 13 years at Chelsea, when he blazed a trail. And his fantastic relationship with Chelsea supporters, who voted him their Player of the Year 3 times and have sung his name regularly since he left in 2014. Everyone at the football club is excited to see him patrolling the Stamford Bridge touchlines and leading the quest for more silverware. And I can't believe it's actually a lot actually happened. We've known for time that he was going to become a manager, but now it's just so surreal, and it's magical. It really is magical, and I'm actually excited for the season. I know rival fans are going to mock us, saying, you're going to do terrible next season. Oh, Frank Lampard, he's so inexperienced. He's not going to have a clue what he's doing. I understand, when people say just because you were a top legend, one of the best midfielders to ever grace this game, up there with Iniesta and Xavi, etc. Just because you were a fantastic legend as a football player doesn't mean you'll be a great coach. We've seen that many times. And I do agree with that statement, but I just believe that this is the perfect time when it comes to managing this football club. I mean, the state that we're in, but also the fact that if this is any other club, this wouldn't work out. Let's be honest. If it wasn't Chelsea, he would have stayed at Derby, and no other big club would have come in for him. The only reason why he's coming back is because he's a legend, but also he's going to get the best out of this group. And I'm confident that we can be successful with him. He's not going to be on his own. He's going to have Jody Morris as his backup, his assistant. He's going to be helping him. He's won so many youth trophies. At the youth level, he's, coached so many of these guys. A lot of these players, Juan Castillo, Mason Mount, Callum Hudson-Odoi, Loftus-Cheek, they're all signing contract because they know the future is bright with the youth team. And I think it's a perfect time, and watching the announcement video is really emotional. Just annoying it took this long for it to be announced, but finally, this football club was on the right thing, and luckily, it's been announced before pre-season. Now we can go into pre-season with a lot of optimism. He can prepare his plans. He can prepare what he needs to do for the upcoming games in the pre-season. Obviously, our pre-season tour has been announced, and we'll be going to Japan. We've been playing a lot of games here and there. He's going to be able to get, understand the squad better. Reece James and Callum Hudson-Odoi, like I mentioned, they will be returning early, which is fantastic news. Loftus-Cheek, however, he did 3 times as much damage compared to Callum Hudson-Odoi, so he won't be returning at the same time. He'll be returning Octoberish. It would have been lovely to have a triple announcement. There was rumours that, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, Callum Hudson-Odoi and Frank Lampard could have been announced all together, but it hasn't happened. Anyway, the main thing is Frank Lampard has officially been announced as manager. But on top of that, it's quite interesting now. Someone had the club tour yesterday. They saw Loftus-Cheek's representatives, his parents, at the club as well. They were getting all things ready for the contract. Callum Hudson-Odoi didn't leave until 11 p.m. last night. And Frank Lampard was at Stamford Bridge for 6 hours finalising his contracts finalising the details and getting everything prepared, all the videos, Instagram, social media, everything. He left the club at 1:30 a.m. in the morning, and he's already been here 7 hours later. So, shortly, in about half an hour, he will be having his first press conference as Chelsea manager, and I'm excited. I'm definitely 100% going to be listening to that. I would recommend you guys listen to that as well. But yeah, it's just it feels so surreal. Like, it's finally happened. I knew one day he would become Chelsea manager, but I just didn't think it'd be this early. And seeing him hold up that Chelsea shirt, seeing him in that suit, and seeing him on the touchline, is so emotional. And to be honest, if you don't get emotional, if you don't feel like magical when you see Frank Lampard on the touchline, a legend, then are you really a Chelsea fan? Let's be honest. But you know what? Some positive. Christian Pulisic as well scored a brace last night in the semi-final of the Gold Cup against Jamaica. So he's hitting really, really good form when he's coming back to Chelsea. Obviously our main signing, because we had that transfer ban. Kovacic, like I said, has been signed permanently. So next season it's not as doom and gloom as we first originally thought. Loftus-Cheek, Callum Hudson-Odoi, Reece James, Pulisic, Kovacic, and we can definitely get top four, but it all depends on how the season pans out. I mean, like I said, pre-season preparation is crucial. I stressed this so many times last season. When Maurizio Sarri never had his press conference, we suffered. We suffered last season. It's as simple as that. We didn't get the sufficient amount of training, the sufficient amount of pre-season training, so that we could thrive in the season ahead. And I think that now he made it clear there, Frank Lampard. He made it so crucial that he can now prepare for the season. He can get pre-season ready, get the teamwork out, get all the coaches ready, adapted to the team, understand the team's preferences, get his ideas drilled into the players so they're ready. Some of these players have already returned anyway, some obviously at the Copa America, like Willian, who's been injured unfortunately, Gold Cup like Pulisic, so they're going to be returning late obviously, but some of the players will be returning early. We haven't offloaded any players yet. Obviously, it's going to be very difficult, especially in circumstances we're in. Obviously, we have a transfer ban, so it's going to be very hard to offload players. Otherwise, we'll have a depth issue as we can't really replace them. But nah, seeing Marino Sky and Frank Lampard together, it's definitely emotional. It's a great feeling, and he's looking fresh. I need a trim today. I'm going to be getting a haircut today. It's a shame that I'm going to get my haircut for the video because it was too early to do it. But it's crazy. As you can see from the thumbnail, it's going to be him being in a suit on that touchline, and all the fans singing Frankie Lampard. It's truly great, man. Yeah, he's officially announced as the new coach. Now, if you want to know the final details of his wages, he will be earning a basic 4.5 million a year wages, and he will be signing a 3-year contract with Chelsea. Now, there is an option to extend, I do believe. Obviously, he will have a basic 3-year contract of 4.5 million. However, there is a clause where if he does get top four with Chelsea this season, then the following 2 seasons he will be earning 5.5 million a year. So he will be getting a pay rise and more incentive. But for him, money isn't the incentive. He loves Chelsea Football Club. He bleeds blue. This is his football club. He loves the football club as much as you and me do. He's a legend here. He wants to thrive here because he loves his club. He wants what's the best for his club. He wants to be successful here, and he wants to even further his legacy. He's already a legend, but if he does even better like Zidane did, he can even make himself even a greater legend. And to be honest, I want him to be so successful. I mean, next season is going to be crucial with, loanees coming back, Mason Mount, Kurt Zuma, Tammy Abraham. Really, really excited future. And like I said, just completely a new era. Just a new era for the football club. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens, how the season pans out. Obviously, fixtures have been released. The pre-season tour has been released. Some players will be returning later than others, obviously. But it's going to be interesting to see what type of starting 11 he will be putting out. Will he be putting out a 4-2-3-1 formation, a 4-3-3 formation? What type of players will be using in the midfield? Some people are saying he's going to be using a dynamic midfield of Loftus-Cheek, Mason and Kante in the pivot of Mason Mount, or he's going to be using a regista with Jorginho in the 4-3-3, just like Sarri did, or will he be playing Kante and Jorginho in the pivot with Loftus-Cheek further forwards, along with Mason Mount for the number 8 position when they interchange? To be honest, it's a really exciting time. There's a lot of things that we don't know. He's had a really successful time at Derby. With that ageing squad, he's brought a lot of the youth through at Derby, got to the Championship playoffs when they weren't expected to, and not only that, he got them to the final, where in my opinion he was really unlucky. And to be honest, he's done a fantastic job at Derby, and he has the potential to be a top manager. Like I said, for time, I did believe it was early, but now as the time came closer, it feels more surreal. Like I'm more gassed about the announcement, the appointment, and I'm just so delighted. I'm so happy that it's finally announced. Finally, Frank Lampard has officially become Chelsea manager. But that's going to wrap up the video there. If you did enjoy this video, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to my channel if you're new around here, and comment down below your thoughts, opinions. How excited are you for Frank Lampard to take the reins and become our new Chelsea manager? Do you think it's too early? Are you really happy? Are you excited as me? And yeah, the legend returns. Welcome home, Frank Lampard. See you guys for the next video. Peace.